Kevin McCarthy said the US-Taiwan relationship is a matter of great importance to the free world. What's your initial reaction to this meeting between President Tsai and Kevin McCarthy?
In her time in office, President Tsai has really stabilized and built on U.S. Taiwan relations. Even though unofficial, there seems to be far more trust between the two sides. Contact is a lot more regular, and I think the other bit that's quite important is to sort of show that Taiwan and the United States, at least on a lot of these matters, are actually quite moderate. Right? They shifted the meeting potentially from Taipei to California, and so any sort of potential for instability rests more with overreaction from Beijing more than anything else.
What happens now, do you think, and how far do you think China can really push now?
At this moment, I think things seem a little bit overdetermined in the sense that the Chinese side is also receiving President Macron and also EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. So I think to have a big flare up at this point in time would undermine Beijing's efforts, ongoing efforts to do outreach towards Europe and other places. The other bit that I think it's useful to take note of is that as China increases its threats and continually coerces Taiwan, people on the island they get accustomed to these sorts of things. So the effect of every additional point of coercion starts diminishing over time, and at some point, Beijing will have to ask itself whether it really wants to coerce more, or whether it wants to escalate or try to accommodate.
This meeting is happening as former KMT President Ma Ying-jeou visits China and meets with some Communist Party officials. Which Taiwanese political party do you think is most likely to benefit from these two simultaneous meetings?
Now, the KMT is going to play up the potential that Tsai's visit to the U.S. and Tsai's handling of relations with the U.S. creates more instability. But I think that is a rather old narrative that doesn't have that much traction anymore. I guess one of the things they have going for them is that they've shown that more regular ties with the United States isn't this, apocalyptic dangerous kind of activity. However, I think where they need also to be more cautious is to actually show that these sort of meetings aren't just purely symbolic, that they can actually deliver something for Taiwan. So for the KMT, their ability to connect with and communicate with the PRC is one thing. The question is, what does that deliver? And importantly, I think people in Taiwan will be asking whether the KMT can deliver not just on sort of practical, well, maybe there's a little bit more trade here, maybe there's a lifting of restrictions on Taiwan there, but whether they can commit the CCP to any sort of stronger forms of restraint, which unfortunately I don't think is quite possible at this point in time.